In this video, we will be examining the question that states that the politics of a state is a reflection of its economy discourse. Now, a question like this is simply demanding from us to see or to assess our knowledge that there is a relationship between politics and economy. What are the relationship? How does politics influence the economy? And how does the economy influence politics? Now, the politics of a state is greatly intertwined with its economy, and sometimes the two are inseparable. You cannot separate politics from economics, and we cannot separate economics from politics. A critical look at the pattern of politics in a particular state will reflect to a large extent that the economic conditions in the state. When you look at how politics are played, it can explain to you why the economic condition of that state is where it is at that time. Not alone do politics reflect the economic determinants also reflect in the politics of the state. Now, what are the ways in which the economy can influence politics and politics can influence the economy? Number one is that the economic interest of a state and its political leaders often determine the type of economic system that the state will practice. Now, what is the economic interest of a state? Or what is the economic interest of the political leader of the state at that time will determine the type of economic system. What are the types of economic system? Basically, socialism and capitalism. So some can be pro-socialist, while some can be pro-capitalist. And sometimes the political power determines the economic system. So in such a way, the politics of that state is reflecting in its economy, or the economy is reflecting in the politics. Another very vital point is that the establishment of welfare in form of infrastructural development, building of roads, water supply, electricity, among others, to achieve an improvement in the standard of always reflect the political interest of the government in power. Politicians always favor their area of origin and political strongholds. So when we say establishment or welfareism, sometimes in the establishment of an infrastructural development in a place, there is an interplay of politics. Sometimes some roads are done, some constructions are made with politics being the driving force. So by trying to favor one side against another, by trying to establish an institute or an infrastructure in a place and not another, there is always the interplay of politics. So in such a way, politics is affecting the economy. Also, the choice of policies and programs by the government of a state is always determined by the economic situation or condition at that time. For instance, the austerity measures that we are having is as a result of the COVID-19 issues that is happening in the world. And a lot of times, some policies that are made are determined by the economic condition. For instance, the rise in the dollar can influence a whole lot of decisions by government, economic decisions. Closing the border, it was a political issue, but it has an economic background. So a lot of time, the choice of the political situation, the programs, the policies in government are conditioned by the economic situation of time. Also, the economic need of a state also determines the pattern of its international politics. What do we mean? A lot of time, international relation is a product of the economic need. That means what a state wants to achieve economic-wise would determine which state or which country it has a very cordial relationship with. So that is to say that the country or a state will interact and cooperate with countries that has a lot to do with their economic interests, and will from there bring about economic gain to the state. Also, the politics of a state is an avenue for revenue sharing formula. There is a politics in sharing formula ratio. And a lot of time, this is influenced by the economic concepts of derivation, needs, and equal development, especially in a country like Nigeria. Now, how we share revenue, this is a political matter. But the condition for the sharing of the revenue is based on economic ideas. What are these economic ideas? The idea of deviation, the derivation, the idea of needs, and the idea of equal development. That means even politics of revenue sharing formula is derived from politics, from economy. Also, the major interests of different social groups are also controlled and based on the economy. So therefore, the politics of interest aggregation of such groups and the level of attention given to such groups by the state or government is determined by the economic relevance of such group. What do we mean with this point? Sometimes we can have pressure groups, trade unions, professional groups, and they are advocating for some things. And when we look at the play of politics between the pressure group and the government, I always have at the basis politics. And also their need is also always economic driven. And also how the government will relate, how the government will take them as important is also based on their economic relevance. So the academic staff of universities, for instance, they can go on strike. The way the government interacts with them has to do with their economic importance. That means the politics between the academics and the government is driven by the economic relevance of the group. The same also goes for the trade union. Sometimes the trade union can decide to go on strike. For instance, the Nigerian Labour Congress. Now, the economic implication of them going on strike will be what will drive the government in actually responding. So the politics of we will do what you want, we will not do what you want is also driven by the economy. So that is economic influencing the politics and politics influencing the economy. And also, the economy equally influences power because it is the available resources, needed resources that lubricate the wheel of politics. So what am I trying to say? When we look at even the play of politics in electioneering, an average individual that does not have economic power, that does not have enough resources at his or her disposal, cannot just run for politics, because the resources are needed, economic resources are needed to achieve political gains or to achieve political success. So that is economic influencing politics. Also, political support, political participation, or apathy, electoral success of a political leader are also influenced by the control of economic instruments. Though rather sad that we have vote buying during elections in Nigeria, but that goes to show how the economy influence people's, even ordinary citizens' decision as regards who to vote and who not to vote. Also, the strength, stability, and even continuous survival of a state rely majorly on the economy. An economy vibrant nation tends to have a stable political atmosphere, while the state that has a dwindling economy has the tendency of having a collapsed politics. So that means how economic viable a country or a state is determines political stability. Political stability, lack of economic relevance or lack of economic success can also bring about the collapse of not only the politics but even the state. So these are different levels in which we can say that the politics of a state is a reflection of the economy of the states.
This is Valdymas College of Advanced and Preliminary Studies. We do excellent A-level programs for guaranteed admission into 200 level. We are in the success business and we transform